course, we begin with matters of the National Assembly because the motion to which the Gambia government sought to extend the state of public emergency has been forwarded for scrutiny before the National Assembly Select Committee for Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. Having registered 4 cases of the coronavirus with 1 death and 2 recoveries, the country is confirmed within a state of emergency to enable government to do all it has to prevent disasters as a result of the COVID-19. But members of the National Assembly argued that the constitutional powers implemented by the president needed to be checked before anything else. For more of that, we go with this report.
The motion for the extension of state of public emergency by the government before the National Assembly could not proceed today because the National Assembly has forwarded it to a committee stage. Meanwhile, the Assembly argues that the motion should be forwarded to the Select Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. It could be recalled that the President of the Republic of the Gambia declared a state of public emergency to put all attention on the fight against coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The extent of this public emergency could last as long as 7 days in a case where the Assembly is in session. When it is not in session, then it could go for 21 days. But having the National Assembly in session, the state of emergency declared by the President should have ended on Friday, meaning today should have been the last day for the effectiveness of the state of emergency. For this, government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Justice, moved the motion for the National Assembly to consider extension of the state of emergency for 90 days.
I beg to move that this August Assembly approve and extend for a period of 90 days, effective 3rd April 2020, the state of public emergency in the whole of the Gambia, declared by His Excellency President Adama Barrow.
The National Assembly is now interested to know the condition through which the President declared a state of emergency, using the constitutional powers vested in him by the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia.
We should refer this to the committee to look at all the elements to see whether the law was complied with. That is the purpose of the motion.
However, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Batambedu, informed the National Assembly that the President's proclamation were gazetted, even though the National Assembly was not privileged to any copy of the gazette until this morning.
The proclamations have been gazetted, and all we need to do is reach out to the Gambia Printing House. Maybe we should have made this available to you, but they have been gazetted. That's the first statement of fact I want to establish.
The purpose of the extension of the state of emergency, according to the Minister of Justice, was to give government all powers to do all it has to do to prevent the death of even one Gambian. As we speak, it is only the Select Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters that can decide as to what is the way forward, whether the President was in line in all his pronouncements or not. And that is to be discussed on Friday morning here at the National Assembly in Banjul.
I am announcing the result.
Procedure.
The ayes,
Honorable Speaker,
36 votes, the noes 11. So the ayes have it. So the debate is therefore adjourned till tomorrow at 10 o'clock. But in the meantime, the committee will meet immediately.
As it is now, the declaration of public state of emergency has kept people indoors, with many people wondering as to the way forward now. How will they continue to survive indoors? These are questions that the extension will have to factor out. So far, Gambia has registered 4 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 1 death and 2 recovered and discharged. For iAfrica TV, I'm Ibrahim Presba.
There you go, that is our man Ibrahim Presba reporting live from the National Assembly in Banjul, where today's sittings were adjourned to tomorrow.